August 28th is not a normal day. Something ancient stirs. A gate you've felt coming, subtly, silently, is now fully open. This isn't another astrological cliché or vague cosmic whisper. It's a soul checkpoint, a sacred test. And for many, it's the last window before a long karmic cycle repeats. You've likely sensed it in your bones. The way time feels warped, the pressure in your chest, the silence before something massive. That's not anxiety. It's spiritual readiness. You've been trained in quiet. This moment was never meant for the loud. It's meant for the ones who endure in love, in order, in devotion. That's you, Virgo. This message isn't for everyone. Most won't hear it. Only those with spiritual stamina, the ones who've stayed soft in a hard world, will recognize the signal. If you're reading this, you're not here by accident. There are no accidents in portals. This is divine selection, not chance. We are inside what many call the gate of purification. It doesn't look like a ceremony. It looks like a normal day where you're faced with a choice so simple, it's sacred. Align or loop. Pass or pause. Receive or resist. The rewards, breakthroughs, clarity, abundance. The risks, emotional sabotage, energetic traps, delays in destiny. This moment is about divine timing meeting soul preparation. It's not about being ready in your calendar. It's about being ready in your core. A trine in earth signs opens a window for you to stabilize what was once scattered, but it won't stay open forever. This is a disappearing door. Here's what we'll decode together: what this test actually is, how to recognize it, and how to pass it with dignity and power. There are 3 core steps, 3 sacred pivots, each one designed to either unlock your next season or keep you circling in old loops. Stay with me until the final word. This isn't just a reading. It's a recalibration. At the end, you'll receive a decree that doesn't just close this message, it seals a new timeline. Not through wishful thinking, but through spiritual law. Your voice will activate what your heart already knows. And it begins right now. You've kept going when no one noticed. You've held the weight of others while quietly carrying your own. You've stayed behind the scenes, not out of weakness, but out of wisdom. Virgo, your silence wasn't passive. It was sacred. And now, it's being seen. The universe never forgot the seeds you planted in private, the prayers you whispered when your voice trembled, the self-restraint when it would have been easier to scream, leave, or break. This test is not a punishment. It's a recognition. It's the moment when everything you buried deep begins to rise. This time, not as struggle, but as strength. For too long, your discipline was mistaken for detachment. Your boundaries were misread as walls. Your standards labeled as too much. But the truth is, you were always preparing. Your soul signed up for something high, something generational. You weren't here to play small cycles. You were born to break patterns. This is why it's you. This is why August 28th chose you. Not because you're perfect, but because you're precise. The healer, the observer, the one who sees the invisible and holds order in chaos. But for too long, that sacred role turned you into a ghost. Now the world doesn't just need your service, it needs your voice. The pain you've endured wasn't wasted. It was training. It was wiring. It was the cosmic calibration required to hold what you're about to carry. Because this next chapter doesn't need more of your sacrifice. It needs your structure. It needs your yes to self, not just others. And so, the test is personal, not external, not loud. It's quiet and piercing. Do you trust what you've become in the dark? Can you finally receive in the light? The gate of purification isn't asking you to change. It's asking you to remember, to re-enter what you've always been, worthy, wise, and ready. Now that you understand why it's you, let's go deeper. There's a mystical design behind this moment, one you were born to decode. Let me show you how the invisible forces have been guiding you here all along. This moment was engineered. It wasn't random, And it didn't just appear. The alignment you feel pressing against your chest, it's the result of layers and loops finally intersecting. August 28th is more than a date, it's a design, the culmination of an invisible architecture that's been quietly building around you. We are now inside what mystics call a miracle portal. It doesn't scream, it hums. And for Virgo, the signs have been subtle. Recurring dreams, numbers like 888 appearing without explanation, a sudden knowing that something is about to click into place. These are not coincidences, they're soul signs. In the astrological ether, there's a trine forming between earth elements. Imagine 3 points forming a triangle of sacred support: Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. This trine doesn't disrupt, it stabilizes. It tells us, you're not starting from scratch. You're standing on sacred ground. This is why the portal opens with ease, but it closes just as quietly if ignored. Numerology echoes this. The date, August 28, pulses with the frequency of 888. In spiritual terms, that's the number of aligned abundance. Not hustle, not luck, alignment. It tells us the doors aren't being opened for everyone, only for those who've anchored deeply. That's what this gate asks of you. Anchored action. No more scattered trying. No more pleasing, fixing, or waiting for the right signal. The signal already came. You are the sign now. And the only question is, will you walk through the door? The early signs of this window have likely been visiting you already. A sudden pull to clean, clear, or reset. A sense of old energy resurfacing. Not to haunt, but to be released. Random tears, static in relationships, unexplained peace right after conflict. These are not symptoms of confusion. They're the final layers leaving. And if fear is whispering right now, let it. But know this: awareness is more powerful than fear. You're not meant to analyze everything. Just notice, acknowledge, and move with it. There are 3 central initiations in this test, each one tied to an area of your life where you've been preparing but not yet claiming. Let's begin decoding them, one by one, starting with the mirror that reflects your hidden value. The first test is subtle, but piercing. It shows up not as conflict, but as absence. The absence of being seen. The absence of being valued in proportion to what you offer. This is the mirror of value, and for Virgo, it's the most personal of all. This test doesn't ask, are you good enough? It asks, do you believe you're worthy of being recognized? Because the truth is, you've been carrying gifts that others have leaned on without naming. Your presence calms, your mind organizes, your hands fix. And yet, how often have you felt invisible in the spaces you've held together? The symptoms are clear. Feeling overlooked, even when you've given your all. Moments where others rise, and you're asked to wait your turn. Chronic underpayment. Roles that rely on your skill but never reward your soul. It's not in your head. It's a spiritual reflection of a contract you didn't know you signed. I serve, but I do not shine. Let's change that. Imagine a scene. A Virgo woman at work, managing crises with grace, training others, fixing errors. But when promotions come, her name is never mentioned. She tells herself it's fine, that her time will come. But what if that time only arrives when she decides she deserves it? That's the error this test exposes. Waiting for permission to be seen. You're not here to beg for recognition. You're here to claim it. This isn't about arrogance. It's about divine accuracy. You've done the invisible work. Now it's time to receive the visible results. Here's your activation protocol. First, write down 7 abilities you've given others without acknowledgement. Second, pick one truth you've hidden out of humility and speak it aloud today, even if just to yourself in the mirror. Your affirmation is simple. My value is not negotiable. Say it slowly. Say it with breath. Say it until your nervous system believes it. This is not ego. This is energetic justice. And once you step into this awareness, something shifts around you. People sense it. The mirror reflects a new image. And from here, we enter the next test, one that protects what this first step begins to attract. As your value rises, so does your light, and with it, your need for protection. The second test is about energy sovereignty, not just knowing your worth, but guarding it. Virgo, you've spent lifetimes being the safe space, the emotional sponge, the one who absorbs what others won't process. But the portal ahead won't allow you to carry what no longer belongs to you. This test appears as fatigue that doesn't go away with rest, resentment after conversations that felt fine on the surface, a sudden urge to withdraw, not from life but from people who take without giving. It's subtle, it's sneaky, but it's real. And it means the gate is asking you to filter your field. You may find yourself over-explaining things lately, feeling guilty for needing space, trying to manage everyone's perception just to keep the peace. That's not harmony. It's energetic leakage, and it's time to seal it. Picture this: a Virgo friend, always available. Her phone is full of messages, people needing advice, venting, asking for just one more favor. She says yes, even when her body screams no. She tells herself it's kindness, but deep down, she knows. It's fear. Fear of being misunderstood, of seeming selfish, of losing love. But what she loses most is herself. The trap here is confusing love with overgiving, believing that being drained is the price of being needed. It's not. This test invites you to reclaim your spiritual territory, to stop apologizing for protecting your peace. Your activation is clear. Step 1. Write a no list, a private inventory of what you're no longer available for: emotional dumping, unpaid labor, guilt manipulation. Step 2. Ground yourself physically today. Barefoot on earth, a bath, or even a moment with your hand on your heart. Anchor back into you. Your affirmation: my energy is sacred. Speak it when the guilt rises. Speak it when you doubt your right to step away. Let it remind you that boundaries aren't rejection, they're recognition. You're not pushing people away. You're pulling yourself back in. And once your field is sealed, the next test can unfold. A test not of maintenance, but of expansion. Let's step into the realm of legacy. The third test isn't about survival, it's about expansion. This is the legacy shift, and it only appears when you've outgrown your old assignments. For Virgo, this is the moment when precision meets purpose. You've organized, healed, edited, refined. But now the portal asks, what are you building that lasts beyond you? This test doesn't show up as chaos. It shows up as tension, a pressure behind your eyes, a voice that whispers, there's more. Not more to fix, more to become. It's the moment when your gifts, once used to serve others' visions, start begging to birth your own. You might be feeling disconnected from your why. Tasks that once felt meaningful now feel mechanical. You've done all the right things, yet something feels off, like you're succeeding at a version of life that no longer fits. That's the legacy knocking, and it won't be quiet for long. Imagine this: a Virgo man who's spent years in service-based work. He's respected, trusted, efficient. But one day, after yet another client thanks him and moves on, he hears nothing. Not silence, but a deeper kind of call. That evening, he sees 777 on a receipt, a sign, a reminder. His gifts weren't just for maintenance, they were for mission. That's the core of this test. Will you hide behind excellence, or will you lead with it? The fear here is real. Visibility, responsibility, the unknown. But so is the cost of delay. The longer you wait, the heavier the stagnation. Your protocol begins with light. Literally. Tonight, light a candle, even a small one. Sit with it and write one sentence about what you want to leave behind. Not just when you're gone, but what you want others to receive from your life now. A message, a method, a frequency. 7 generations forward. Your affirmation. I choose legacy over fear. Let it vibrate through your decisions. Let it realign your to-do list. Let it remind you. Small steps matter when they're in the right direction. You've faced the mirror. You've guarded your energy. Now, you're stepping into the build. But before you act, let me show you proof. Someone just like you already crossed this threshold. Let their story reflect what's possible. It started on a Wednesday morning, gray skies, still air. She was a Virgo, mid-30s, a quiet force in her world. Reliable, composed, always the one who knows. But inside, something was crumbling. Not a breakdown, a shedding. The kind that doesn't make noise but rewrites everything. For months, she had felt it, an ache that had no name. Work drained her. Conversations felt robotic. Even her favorite rituals lost their spark. But she kept going, telling herself it was just a phase. Until that morning, when she glanced at the clock, 11:11. Then her phone pinged with a message she hadn't seen in years. An old friend. A sudden invitation. A strange timing. That was the signal. The soul sign. She paused. Something told her this wasn't just coincidence. She remembered a phrase she'd written weeks earlier in her journal. I'm ready to be seen. And there it was. A moment where the universe asked, Are you sure? She closed her eyes. She breathed deep. Then she did something different. Something small, but sacred. She stood barefoot on her balcony, held a glass of water to her chest, and whispered, I'm available for what is mine. I release the rest. A simple ritual. 1 sentence, 1 breath, 1 shift. That evening, something opened. Clarity. Peace. A call confirming a project she had pitched and forgotten. An apology from someone who had ghosted her months ago. Not miracles in the dramatic sense, but precision, alignment, proof that the energy had changed. She didn't just pass a test, she returned to herself. And in doing so, the field responded. The moral isn't that rituals bring magic. It's that presence activates truth, and truth moves fast. When you shift, everything else must follow. But only if you act from soul, not ego. Only if you claim it out loud. You too are standing in that doorway. The signs are around you. The timing is precise. But you don't need to perform. You only need to commit. Now let me guide you through the exact portal ritual she used, refined for you, so that your energy, your voice, and your timeline can align in full. Let's walk through it together. This is the moment where awareness becomes alignment, not through waiting, but through movement. The portal responds to clarity, not confusion, to intention, not indecision. This is your 3-step ritual, simple, sacred, potent. You won't need crystals or mantras, just your presence, your will, and your voice. Step 1. Clarity. Write your intention in the present tense. No I hope or I want. Say it as if it already exists. I am aligned with divine timing. I am supported in my expansion. I trust the legacy I'm building. Keep it sharp. 1 sentence, signed with your name. Step 2. Elevated emotion. Sit with this sentence. Close your eyes and feel it. Not just in thought, but in your chest, your stomach, your breath. Visualize it as light, warm, certain, expanding from within. Smile, even if it feels strange. That smile is a key. Gratitude before the evidence is how portals open. Step 3. Aligned action. Do one small thing today that reflects that sentence. Send the email. Make the list. Speak the truth. Decline what drains. Say yes to what scares you, in the right direction. The portal is not about speed, it's about resonance. When your action matches your truth, the field responds. Final step, release. Light a candle, burn the paper, or simply whisper your intention into running water. Then say, I surrender control. I trust divine order. Let it go. Don't look for proof. Become the proof. You can align this ritual with the earth element that rules Virgo. Sit on the floor. Light a grounding incense. Place your feet flat and visualize roots extending deep beneath you. The earth holds what you plant. Let her witness this. If you feel scattered before or after, use the 4-7-8 breath. Inhale for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8. Repeat 3 times. Add salt to your bath or water to your wrists. Say a prayer if it calls you. Your system knows what safety feels like. Invite it back. This isn't magic to be chased. It's alignment to be chosen. And now that you've stepped through the ritual, how will you know it worked? Let's look at the signs. They've already started. The signs of alignment don't always shout. Often they whisper. A sudden sense of peace that makes no logical sense. A deep exhale without reason. These are confirmations that your energy has shifted. You've stepped through something real. And now, the universe begins to mirror it back. Watch for numbers 888, 111, 1111 on receipts, clocks, license plates. Not because the numbers are magic, but because your awareness is now tuned to divine echoes. Dreams will become more vivid. You may wake up with clarity, with answers, with names or phrases that stick. Trust these downloads. They are language from your soul. You might feel lighter, more stable, or more focused, like fog has lifted. You'll notice different conversations, a clearer yes and no inside you. These are signs. They are subtle, but they are real. And if you feel nothing, don't panic. The field doesn't always respond instantly. Sometimes it integrates overnight. Sometimes your dreams will carry the message. Give it 48 hours. Stay open, but unattached. That is the frequency of trust. To maintain alignment, choose one habit. Just one. A breath each morning. A whispered phrase. I walk as one who knows. A small gesture of order. A clean surface, a grounded meal, a pause before you speak. Tiny things, but they signal to the cosmos, I'm holding the line. Avoid energetic sabotage for the next 2 days. That means no gossip, no impulsive shopping, no sharing your ritual too early. Protect it. Let it root before you expose it. Energy grows best in silence. Now, if your heart is beating a little faster, that's good. It means the decree is near. It means your system recognizes the final step. And when we speak it, we don't just close the portal, we seal the shift. Comment to anchor this moment into your field. I pass the gate of purification. Not as a wish, but as a witness. You've walked the steps. Now let's claim what's yours. The final words await. You were never meant to be ordinary. Virgo was born for order within chaos, for the details that shape destinies. And today, you've remembered that. August 28th isn't just another date on the calendar. It's a gate of purification, and you walked through it. You've faced the mirror of value. You've reclaimed your energy field. You've chosen legacy over fear. Not in theory, but in action. That alone changes timelines. That alone bends reality. And now, there is one thing left to do. You must speak the decree. This isn't a spell. It's an activation. Words, when spoken with truth, do more than sound. They seal. And so, take a breath. Place your hand on your chest. Let your body feel the weight of everything you've just released and everything you're ready to carry. Then speak this aloud. I walk through the gate. I receive what is mine. I leave what is not. Say it again if you need to. Say it until your voice steadies, until your breath deepens, until your body believes. And then, comment it. Anchor it. Not just for you, but for the collective field. When you decree in community, the vibration multiplies. This is not about being seen. It's about being witnessed. You don't need to know what comes next. Just know this. You've aligned. And from here, everything changes. maybe not overnight, but in ways that will reveal themselves exactly when you're ready. Stay close. Another message may find you when the next gate appears. For now, trust the one you just crossed. And know, nothing was missed. Nothing was wasted. You passed the test. Behind you, the door closes. Before you, a path opens. Stone by stone, mountain by mountain, light by light. Walk it. You're ready.